Feel like I got hit with pepper spray. It is so hot.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? For First We Feast, I'm Sean Evans, and you're watching Hot Ones. It's the show with hot questions and even hotter wings. And today I'm joined by Kevin Love. He has a championship ring, 4 NBA All-Star games under his belt, but can he handle Blair's Mega Death Sauce with Liquid Rage? We'll find out today, Kevin. Welcome to the show.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
How are you with hot food?
I guess we'll find out, but yeah, hot wings. I don't know if I'm ready for this.
I don't know if I'm ready for this either. Let the record show the earliest shoot time that we've ever had in the history of Hot Ones. 10 a.m., hot wings for breakfast. Kevin, you ready to get it going?
Let's do it. On this side here?
Yep, start on that side.
Okay,
Smart. You always gotta.
Okay.
Yep. So I want to start by taking it all the way back to the youth baseball field in Lake Oswego.
Hey, you said it right. That's rare.
Look at that. That's the Hot Ones difference,
There you
Kevin
go.
Love. Because you not only nearly led the Lakers to a Little League World Series, but you also shared a roster with a then 11 years old Klay Thompson.
That's right.
What do you remember about Klay Thompson, the teammate on the Little League field?
We could never get a word out of him. No, he was very good. We were one game away from winning the state championship, which then would have led to regionals and then the Little League World Series. But he was, I can't say I saw that coming out of him. Being one of the best, two guards all time, two-way player, can shoot the ball exceptionally, and also has a championship ring. So 2 kids from Lake Oswego.
There's another youth sports memory that I want to ask you about. It's when you shattered a backboard in that high school game. Do they have to end the game? Do they have a spare? Do people know how to install it? What's the aftermath?
And so the final score was actually 4-0. I had, I think, a layup before that, and then I had a breakaway dunk, broke the backboard, and we actually had to play at a middle school the next night. So they canceled that. That game was done. Everybody went home. They had to replace the backboard. Nobody was happy about it. And they actually tried to bill my family. They went through the school said, we're not paying for this. So they went to Lake Oswego High School and said, well, we're not paying for this. And then they actually asked my family to chip in.
So today's meal notwithstanding, I know that you take your diet very seriously. And in fact, your teammate Richard Jefferson once said that you eat like an 80-year-old lady who's trying to make sure she's regular. Is that the most savage thing a teammate has ever said about your diet? Because I've heard you say that you get teased about it often.
I do. Probably him and Channing Frye give me the most shit about my diet. Richard's 36 years old, 35, 36 years old, and still, dunking 3, 4, 5 times a game. He's just a genetic freak. So when they come at me about my diet, I don't care.
And then what's changed? Because in college, you described yourself as doughy. Obviously,
Which
not
was
anymore.
Understatement. I mean, I would say I didn't work with a nutritionist. I didn't know how to eat, but more than anything, I came from high school where I was, I would clean the plate, ask for seconds. I was eating home-cooked meals. My mom was making me whatever I wanted. I knew nothing but garbage disposal. Just put it away.
How do you think your ESPN The Body spread would have been different if you maybe did it during your rookie year?
It would have never happened. It would have never happened. I don't think it's hit yet.
Not hit? Yeah. These are just chill. These are free throws, Kevin. Just enjoy it. Enjoy the front half. So in my book, you're not a bona fide NBA star until you start getting TV cameos, and you checked that box in a pretty big way early on when you did the Entourage episode with Eminem.
So many brilliant stars have that manic energy and that presence around them that make them who they are, and he was no different. That was an interesting day. Yeah, Doug Ellen had us out to the shoot. He said, why don't you jump in? Eminem's gonna be here today, so he's like, a big guy, break up a fight, and that was it's hit now. I can feel it.
There you go, 3 it. And then we know from the countless snaps and Instagrams of your Cavaliers teammates that locker room's really got its finger on the pulse of what's new and what's up and coming in hip hop.
I mean, we have a pretty eclectic group. We right now, Rick Ross's new album. Drake just put out his new album. Guys are obviously debating and fighting about that. Shump is putting out his new album.
Yeah.
He has some playoff verses that he's going to put out for us to warm up to, and we have a lot of guys that jaw and fight about that, but it's fun.
What's the key to a really good all bros dance party?
an all bros dance party.
Yep.
I mean, don't take yourself too seriously. That's another. I wish I could explain it on here, but Richard Jefferson. There's a certain song out there. It's throwback to like early 2000s. He knows what I'm talking about. He'll see this.
This one's not so bad, right?
No,
Chilling.
so far so good.
All right, so the next part of the show is a little thing we have called Explain That Graham. And what we do is we do a deep dive on our guest Instagram. We pull interesting pictures that we think need more context. So I'll show you the picture and then you just tell me the bigger story. Does that sound good?
Sounds good.
All right, laptop, please. We spare no expense here at Hot Ones, Kevin Love. We just show the pics right off the laptop. All right, this first one's interesting. It's a little before they were famous with Kevin Love and Kevin Durant.
It was the NBA Top 100 camp. I remember the first time I actually saw him play, he was playing for the DC Blue Devils. I couldn't believe how skinny he was, how tall he was. He's probably still, 6'9", 6'10" at the time, so had the height, but, he'd come down the floor, he would shake you, cross you over, come between the leg, shoot the three. Next play, he'd come down, same thing, shake you, cross you over, go down the lane, dunk it. And, he was one of those guys that
Just moved a little
you
bit
could just see, move differently, especially at that size. I've never seen anybody handle the ball like that. The way he carried his team, the way he carried himself, I said, I think this kid's gonna be, in the Hall of Fame one day.
So this is one of those famous Cavalier fit pics. Something a little suspicious, though, about the guy on the far left.
My photoshopping expertise isn't too great. I know this was, I remember this was in Minnesota our first year, and it became such a thing that, Kevin's not in the photos, and Bron and Tristan and Swish and Shump and Kai, they're not putting them in the photo. So, I took it upon myself to, throw myself in there.
I have one more for you. Cleveland had a 52-year championship drought, and my guess is that there was a lot of pent-up emotion. What are the weird things that you saw? What are the things that you remember? What are the stories you told the next day?
Well, I remember that it was supposed to be a 45-minute run through. I think it took 3.5 hours because you could tell after 52 years that,
They're like, we want more.
We want more. And there were originally barricades to keep the people away. Those went down, and we just had security kind of walking by the cars and kind of pushing everybody off. But it was wild. Every time you stood up, people were going crazy. The night before, we had actually gone out, celebrated the championship after having come back from San Francisco and Oakland. So we were a little bit, under the weather. I'm trying to eat most of the wings, so I'm not like...
So that the commenters don't get chirpy.
Right. I don't want to see that.
Yeah. All right, so I've heard you say that you get through road trips by binge watching movies, but I was a little bit surprised to learn that you have a special fondness for spaghetti westerns, and in particular, director Sergio Leone.
Yep.
I don't mean to stereotype professional athletes, but that's a very strange, little interesting Kevin Love factoid.
I think it was early on just kind of being obsessed with Clint Eastwood, or even that time period, without exposing too much. My alias everywhere I go is from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. That's how much
when you check into the hotels and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I know that you're a huge Game of Thrones head. What other NBA players do you find yourself kind of talking to about the show?
Well, I'd say as far as our team goes, it's Shump.
Shump's a big Game of Thrones guy.
Shump is a huge Game of Thrones guy, and his take on not just the show, but everything is so not what I expected, or
He
like
gets
so
real
left
next
field.
level?
Yeah, like he's like, no, I think it's gonna go here, and he goes off on this 5 to 10 minute explanation of where Arya is gonna be now in the show, or this is what's gonna happen to Sansa or Jon Snow, and I'm just like, yeah, okay, Shump, that's great.
So I'd be remiss if I didn't ask about last year's NBA Finals, because it's not every day that Hot Ones has a guest who came back from a 3-1 series deficit. And then in the final minute, you were D'ing up Steph Curry in that Game 7 matchup. What is your headspace like when that's happening? Because he could just pull up from, 6 feet beyond the 3-point line. He could try to go to the rim. You were just kind of like on your feet.
What was the debate in old school when he gets up there?
Oh, you kind of blacked out?
Yeah,
Is that what
blacked
happened?
out. Yeah, it was one of those moments where he could have pulled up from really anywhere. As long as I contested the shot, stayed in front of him, and forced him into something really tough from 23 feet, 24 feet, then I'd be okay. And I remember he gave the ball up to Draymond after I had moved my feet. He gave the ball up, passed it back. I actually let him get it back. Of course, two-time MVP, unanimous MVP that year. So I let him get it back and try to force him into a tough shot. He throws it up. I think he was short on it. Bron got the rebound. That was it.
And then after that, there's this great picture of you hugging LeBron that has been memed by the internet a million times over.
Once I saw that the shot was long, I looked for whoever I didn't want to be one of those guys running around looking for somebody to hug or a fist pump or anything like that. So I went right for Bron. Just that was it. Everybody was I think probably most proud of and most happy for Bron, and I wasn't an exception.
All right, Kevin, so this is zombie apocalypse. We're getting to where things get kind of serious over here.
Okay. Oh yeah, that one's up in the nose.
Right off the bat.
Oh.
Hitting.
I told you I'd start sweating.
So as we've talked about already, you did pose nude for Sports Illustrated and you have a ton of spreads, which by resume has to make you like a legit top male model. What's your secret for how best to make love to the camera?
Zombie apocalypse. I get to wear what I want. I get to work with a lot of great people, and I'm really trying to think of an answer while this thing's burning my mouth, and I can't.
What's the key to staying loose during a shoot? Because you know what people don't understand about shoots? Shoots can be exhausting. Nobody ever wants to cry but I've done them. I've done a bunch of them. Like I'm up on my feet for an hour, I feel like I've worked a full day.
If you want to loosen up, it's okay to have an adult beverage.
What backdrop would you pick for a lookbook? If Kevin Love were art directing a spread, what would be your backdrop? Would it be Park City, Utah? Would it be someplace else?
Nice, drop the Park City, Utah. Yeah, maybe somewhere in southern Utah would be really nice. Something in the Wild West.
So this is Da Bomb. Da Bomb. I don't want to talk to you about your time at UCLA for a second because I feel like nobody ever really
I can see it's hitting you like it's hitting me.
I'm no superhero.
Right.
I'm no superhero. No one ever thinks about that. People think I'm like so tough, so hard with these hot sauce all the time.
I am not proud right now.
I'm no
Wool
special
was
man.
not a good choice. Oh, there's the water. Are we allowed? Is that? I've been told that's like taboo on the show.
No. Don't try to. Travis Kelce, speaking of athletes, he came in here with like that kind of vibe. Like, I'm not You can drink water, you can drink milk. I've noticed the athletes, they do get kind of like competitive with it, which I actually like watching from like this side of the table. It's very interesting to me. But no, have some water, have some milk.
I got you.
Chill, it's all right. What was Russell Westbrook's most annoying habit as a college roommate?
We had thermostat battles.
Uh-oh.
So while we're going through
Battling
heat right
heat,
here,
we were
yeah,
battling
he was doing 74, 75 degrees. Wake up in the middle of the night, turn that thermostat up, and for me, I'm 68, but that little bit of heat really makes a difference.
74, 75, because that's like significant.
It's significant. For me, I was very responsive to that. Sweating, wake up in the middle of the night, I couldn't get any sleep, and of course he comes out and is Russell Westbrook, but it was not. And I'm really trying to keep it together right now. Like I told you before we started rolling, the Mad Dog 357 was the one I was not looking forward to.
Why? Can you tell me why?
Just from the response from everyone else that's been on the show.
I said, what you say, man? This shit making me delirious.
Bro, that shit is not hot like that. This one was hotter.
Oh, it's time delayed too. Fuck you.
That's what they do, they Trojan horse it in.
It's always that second to last one.
Right. Ready to go there?
Let's do it.
Okay. Is it strange being on the show, having like watched it,
I really like this set. That one's stuck on the punching bag.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's fun when you're a fan of the show and actually get to come on.
Yeah.
And I guess you always feel like it's a good idea to be on shows you watch and you look at.
And then you
and
get
I'm
there.
really sorry. But
Kevin, I don't take it personal. I don't think anyone's ever walked out of here being like, oh yeah, that was a good use of my time. So one of the most interesting Kevin Love factoids, and I know it gets brought up to you all the time, is that your uncle, Mike, was a lead singer for the Beach Boys. I know that you weren't exactly hit with the music bug in the exact same way, but you did have that feature on that Damian Lillard song, Droppin' Dimes. If you could collaborate with any artist in the world, who's your dream collaboration?
right now, my dream collaboration, probably Chance. I met him over the summer. He was at the ESPYs, and his performance at the ESPYs was unbelievable.
What's your favorite Beach Boys deep cut?
Beach Boys deep cut. Define deep cut.
I don't want to hear like Good Vibrations or.
I feel like I got hit with pepper spray.
You do? That's a show. That's what's happening.
It is so hot. Another tear. I feel like you might be able to cut out like the last 5 minutes of this because I'm not getting any answers out of this.
No. That's the good stuff. That's the good stuff. The question, whatever. Nobody. That's what
My brain has stopped working by. What was this one again?
Ghost pepper and blueberry. That's
Yeah.
where you got caught, Kevin.
Yeah. Wow.
All right. So, Kevin, as you know, it's tradition around here to put a little dab on the last wing. You don't have to if you don't want to. Be careful. It's a little bit of a runny tap.
Okay.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Don't go
Okay.
crazy. Don't go
Okay.
crazy,
Okay.
Kevin. All right. Kevin,
yeah, cheers.
cheers.
Says feel alive.
Do you?
Now more than ever. Wow.
So this is the final wing, and it's like Game 7, and the clock's running out, and I need you to put your dancing shoes on for this one, because I do have a quick NBA rapid fire before we get you out the door. So I'll just hit you with a bunch of questions. You just give me the first thing that comes to mind, okay?
Let's go.
Most difficult player to defend, not Dirk Nowitzki.
Kevin Durant.
Who's the most savage trash talker in the game right now?
I grew up with it being Paul Pierce. So Paul was always a guy that could back it up and also barked a lot. And especially when he was on Boston.
Yeah.
I mean, and he's the truth. I mean, he has that nickname for a reason.
Most underrated player you've ever shared a floor with?
Underrated player I've ever shared for. Well, it's tough to say. My answer to that would be Russell Westbrook. I mean, when I came to college, nobody knew who he was. Went to the UCLA men's gym, and I remember he would just go in there and kill everybody, leave like nothing happened, hit the weight room, and I'd say, man, this kid's gonna be special.
Finally, who'd win in a cage match between you and Draymond Green?
Cage match?
Cage match.
I've watched plenty of Austin 316 growing up, Stone Cold Steve Austin, so I feel like I win in a cage match.
Kevin Love's got the edge, and you know what else he might win is in a wing eating competition because he cleared the board as well. Kevin Love, you made it through. You know how it goes. This camera, or this camera. Let the people know what you have going on in your life.
Appreciate it. We're trying to win another NBA championship. It's all going to come down to us, being healthy and locking in. So I feel good to be here today. Wearing my Banana Republic. Like I said, wool wasn't a great choice, but I have my Traveler jeans on. They're nice and feel great, especially when I'm sweating after Mad Dog here. I feel good.
Let's hear it, Kevin. And that's Hot Ones.
My face is really hot right now.
Hey, what's going on, Hot Ones fans? If you liked the video, maybe meet us halfway. Throw us a subscribe. If you didn't like the video, don't subscribe. I don't want you. I don't want you in the tent. But if you like the video, subscribe. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. I love you. More than a friend.